to Resource Naturopathy's kitchen. This is my first video, and I run a naturopathic practice in Montreal where I see clients who suffer from pre-existing health conditions and who just want to get healthy, lose weight, de-stress, and learn how to eat properly. So all the recipe recommendations that I do give to my clients are all based on what their individual needs are. So it's very specialized, very individualized, but one thing that everyone can benefit from is having more greens in their diet. Green leafy vegetables. This is one that maybe not too many people are too familiar with, but it's really gaining popularity in the market. And what I'm going to make today is a recipe which incorporates, it is this vegetable, and it's yummy, and it's a great snack, and it tastes much better than potato chips. It's called kale chips, okay? So this is kale, this tough, yummy, leafy green vegetable full of chlorophyll, full of vitamins and minerals. And I'm going to show you how to make it from beginning to end. It's pretty easy, pretty quick. So the first thing you want to do, I've already prepped up all my kale. You want to take your kale leaves and wash them really well. And then you just want to peel the leaves off of the stalk. Not very difficult. You just sort of tear your leaves off of the tough stalk because the stalk is really hard to chew. It's tough. You can chew on it, but not for this recipe. So again, just tearing off my leaves off the kale. What I have here is 2 bunches of kale. I'm going to post this recipe on my website so you can actually have the exact measurements and ingredients. And I don't necessarily love to cook with exact measurements, but I'm going to do this right now. So I've got 2 bunches of kale, all nice and snipped up. Now I'm going to prepare my sauce. This is the topping, okay? So the first thing I'm going to do is I'll use 2 cloves of garlic, put them in a little handy dandy food processor like this. 2 cloves of garlic, 1 beautiful red pepper, which I'm going to cut up, and core. So I've got my 1 red pepper all chopped up. I throw that in the food processor. I've got half a lemon. I'm going to squeeze my half a lemon with my handy dandy squeezer. So one of these, this little lemon juicer, you can actually get anywhere, any kitchen store, any dollar store even. And it's wonderful. I use it every single morning when I make my hot water and lemon juice tonic. So I've got my half a lemon. I'm going to throw that out. The juice of half a lemon mixed in there. I've got 1 cup of unroasted, unsalted raw cashews, which I've been soaking for about 2 hours. You can soak yours for anywhere from 1 to 8 hours. So I'm going to throw those in my food processor. I'm going to use nutritional yeast. If you guys have never heard of nutritional yeast, it's actually wonderful. It's a yeast flake product, and it's really high in B vitamins, really rich in all the B vitamins. So it helps the nervous system, metabolism, so many different functions in the body, all the B vitamins play. So I'm going to put about, I would say, a tablespoon and a bit, because I love it, in there. And I'll throw a dash of olive oil. So I've got first cold pressed organic olive oil. So just a bit. I would say about a tablespoon and a half of olive oil. Then I've got miso paste. Miso is a fermented food, and this one comes from rice. So it's fermented rice. You can also get miso paste from soy, from barley, from different whole grains or legumes. This one happens to be fermented rice, and it's delicious. You can put this paste into soups, and it's really, really healthy. It's nutritious. So I would say about a tablespoon, a bit less than a tablespoon of miso paste. I'm going to throw that in. It's really nice because it gives a nice salty flavor without having to use yucky table salt, which you never want to use anyway. You always want to use a sea salt, a gray sea salt, or a Himalayan sea salt. And I'm actually going to put a touch of water in there. Just to make it all saucy. Okay, so a touch of water. So my next step is to grab the lid and blend. So that's great. Actually, it came out really well. I blended it into a paste. I'm just gonna get rid of these things. And the next step is the final step. It's basically just dressing up the kale chips. Very easy. As you can see, this recipe doesn't take very long at all. So I'm gonna layer my kale chips onto, I basically have a baking sheet here with parchment paper. So if you don't know about parchment paper, get to know parchment paper. It's incredible. It's non-stick without having to use any chemical non-stick product, without having to use any extra oil or any of that spray oil stuff, which is terrible anyway. And I'm going to show you lots of things in weeks to come. I have many solutions to typical conventional ways of cooking and normal things that normal people have in their kitchens. We're going to get a little bit alternative here and show you healthier options, healthier alternatives. So again, I've layered my kale onto my baking sheet, which is on parchment paper, and I'm going to do one batch at a time here. So I grab my yummy, delicious sauce. It smells so good. And because I have 2 bunches of kale, I'll use half on this bunch and half on the other bunch. So I just I'll grab one of my nice spoons here. So I've got a nice wooden spoon. I'm going to take half of this yumminess and just put dollops onto my kale chips. And then guess what I'm going to do? I'm going to massage my kale chips. Okay? So your hands, nice and clean. It's wonderful to use your hands in cooking. You really get your fingers wet, you get into the food. It's a wonderful feeling. So this lucky kale is getting a great massage. And easy as that, really. You just want to massage the whole sauce into your kale. And I'm going to add another ingredient, which I think will be delicious. Look at how good this looks. If you guys know about kale chips, if you've ever seen them at a health food store, they cost about $8 or $9 a bag, okay? So you can make your own kale chips. This is organic kale. It was about $2.79 for a bunch of kale. And the other stuff costs next to nothing. If you're just using a tablespoon or 2 of the other ingredients, they're a little bit expensive, but you're just using a tiny amount and you're using the rest for the rest of your cooking needs, okay? So at the end of the day, this is not going to cost you very much. It's healthy, it's nutritious, it's amazing, really. It's better than potato chips. It's delicious. So I'm just going to wash my hands. The one last ingredient that I'm going to add is brown sesame seeds. So organic brown hulled sesame seeds. So I'll just use about a teaspoon of that. And I'll just sprinkle it onto my kale chips to give it a little bit of extra protein, omega-3, essential fatty acids. Now kale is also really high in iron and vitamin K and chlorophyll, as I mentioned before. So again, nutritious, delicious greens are so healthy and you should really incorporate them into your diet, absolutely. At least once a day. If not, start slowly, baby steps. A few times a week, have a nice spinach salad, kale, Swiss chard, broccoli, dandelion greens, mustard greens, arugula, spring mix, so many different types of greens, and you can do so much with them. And we'll be seeing that in following weeks. So here we go, I have my beautiful kale chips. I don't have a dehydrator at the moment, so I'm going to pop them in my oven at a very low temperature, and I'll let them bake to a crisp. And we'll see that soon. Thank you. Hi guys, we're back. So same kitchen. As you can see, I just wanted to give you guys a quick tip, which I love and appreciate every single time I do it. while I'm waiting for the food to be prepared or cooked or dehydrated or whatever you're doing with your kale chips, I like to clean up the kitchen. That's why you don't see anything around anymore. I've washed up all my dishes so that after I finish my meal, I don't have to think of a pile or a mountain of dishes to do. So everything is all tidied up, cleaned up, put away for the most part. And here we go. We're gonna take out our 2 batches of kale chips, which are delicious and yummy. So here they are. That's the first batch. I like them to be about this crispiness. I've left them in for about 10 to 12 minutes on 250 heat Celsius. And this is what they look like. So it's up to you. If you like more of a burnt, crispy flavor, you could leave them in for longer. Or you can leave them in for less time and have them be more mushy, sort of. Have them be more like a vegetable. And you can use them as a side dish. So you can put them aside your tofu or your beans or your whole grains or your chicken or whatever you eat and just have it as a side dish as opposed to a snack. Okay? So my second batch, there we go. So I've created this much kale chips for about $5. Take care, guys. Check us out, resourcenaturopathy.com, and find out about naturopathic medicine, what it's all about. And if you have any questions, feel free to email me or contact me through my website. Okay? Thank you. Thanks for watching. Take care.